Hi everybody, welcome to day 4 of Web Development Basics Training by First Creative Studio. You guys have been doing awesome, you've been doing well. Proud of each and every one of you. And remember, you don't need to get it right the first time. Okay? It's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to make some small errors and all that. It's okay to not even understand it, but the main point is you try to get it. So everybody making out an effort, just keep doing it, and well done. I'm so proud of you all. So today we're going to look at something quite different. We've done tags that can be used in sentences, content tags as I called them in the last video. Today I want us to do lists. That's the first one up here. Now, you know, when we're writing in Microsoft Word, we have things, especially when you go to the bullet and numbering tab, we have things that when we're writing, every time we type something, it can make it like this. 2, 3, and they follow each other. Yeah, so that's what lists do. And you know, also we can have like A, B, then also sometimes we have circle, diamond, squares. Yeah, lists like that. So that's the first thing we're going to look at today. So the first one is what we call unordered list. Unordered list. Now let me put it in a P. I like putting my things in paragraph tag, just like it makes it look neater, especially when I do this. Alright. So unordered list is written, the tag is a simple UL. Has its own closing tag. Now you put this. Now in between that, we put what we call list item. This UL is short for unordered list. This is a list with all the diamonds, squares, and all that. LI. LI is list item. Alright. So we're going to see what this does. And we'll also see how we can switch things up. So save. Let's look at how unordered lists look like. And this is it. Now let's go to ordered list. Ordered list, that's the I, the 1, the A, and all that. So it's OL. Put the slash. Now in between those tags, we have list items. So these are the list items. Save. Let's go and refresh the page. Look at them. Unordered list and ordered list. I think that's the spelling of ordered. Yep. So now what happens? So this is it in the default setting. The circle and is in 1, 2, 3. Now what happens, let's say instead of for ordered list, remember ordered list is the one with the 1, 2, 3 and all that. Let's say you want it in Roman numeral. So small letter I, save. Look at the current one. That's before I refresh. Now I've put I. Let's see what will happen. It changed everything to Roman numeral. If you want it to show A, like you want it to be A B C D E F G, you have to come here, put type is equals to A. And also you can put it in capital letters. That's for A. And also for the Roman numeral, use a capital letter I. And that's that. So if for list, there are about 3 different ways. Like when you put the type, you can put A, you can put capital letter A, you can put, I said 3 different ways, sorry, there are 5. Small letter I, capital letter I for Roman numeral. Then there's the normal one, which you don't necessarily need to put it because it's the default setting. That's number 1. It's the default setting. When we didn't put type and all that, that's what should. So you don't necessarily need to go and put OL type 1. No, it's already default setting. There you see no difference. Anyway, let me put the type back. So, and I'll put it on A. So it's there for anybody that would like to use that in their upcoming assignment. So back to unordered list, it works almost the same way. But in unordered list we have 4. I believe 4. Let me see. Sorry, no, we have 3. Now circle. You notice the default one, right? When we don't put type is equals to quotation mark circle. Look at what happens when I put circle here. Now when I put square, save. Now another name for the default setting is disk. So these are the only 3 it does. So let me name them list item, disk, defaults. So now we have all this. Please note that what you put in the ID and what you put in 4 should be the same thing. They have to match. So let's say this one is we put username, and if you're starting with small letter here, please don't come here and start with, if you're starting with big capital letter here, don't come here and start with big letter. It has to be the same thing. But it's preferable to prevent issue like this, just make everything small letters. Alright, so we save and we run. Scroll down. Oh sorry, I didn't put break. Yes, I didn't put break for this. Then in between here, like the same thing you did for links, that in between the link tags, that's ahref here and \a, you put what you wanted the users to see your link as. You have to do that here. If not, just like this mistake I made here, it won't show. So now look at it. Alright, so this is 1, and this one accepts anything. This numbers, You will accept it. Now you know sometimes you want, or for sites you have to put your password. Now I'm copying and pasting because it's basically the same thing apart from some changes. Now this one is password, so I edit this one. But please, if you're going to do copy and paste, pay attention that you change everything you're supposed to change. Look at this password. Look at this, change to password. The previous one we did text. This one, because it's a password, I change to password. Yeah. So save. Come here. Remember this one, I could type anything and you can see what I typed. Now let's refresh. Oh, sorry. For this, I have to put break, because if not, when I just run it, these two will be beside each other on the same line, just like the same thing with those things in paragraph tag. So look at it. So you can see everything is hidden now. That's what happens when you use the password text. So let's go to another common one. Do break again. Break. Break. Another one, let's use checkbox or a radio. I'll show you what we call radio. We have used this thing many times when you're filling most likely a form online. Now with the way radio works, instead of the typical way we put label first, input next, radio is the opposite way. But I'll just put it this way so you can see how it is the opposite way, or why it is always the opposite way. So this one, let's answer, are you male? Input type radio. ID male. Remember I said ID and what is in for here have to be the same thing. Now radio has one more value, and that's, I said, one more value. One of these things, you know how it has ID, name, type, they are called attributes. So radio has one more, and its value. So like if you created this form and the person selects whichever of the radio options, you see, because you can only submit one. If you have value, and let's say the information is supposed to be stored somewhere, maybe like in a database, that value tells the browser what is supposed to go and be stored in that database, which in this case, female. So let's do another one. Oh, I put female there, sorry. Male, female, gender, female, 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 female. Alright, female, female, female. Yeah. So now let's view it. Refresh. Now if you notice, most of the time whenever you see something like this, it's rare that it is this way. It's usually um this that we call radio buttons are on this side before the items they represent are on the right. So that's why. And if you notice something about the radio buttons, you can only answer one. Look at this. If I click male, click female, there's only one that goes. So let me put break. No, break is fine. I don't like the way they are joining together, so it's best let me give everybody their own line. Break. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, I prefer it this way. Let me see if I put break here. It's going to look neater. It just moves it down. No, it's not better. Anyway, so just move it. Control X. Control V. Control X. Control V. You will notice that most of them, at least for text and password, most of them they are basically the same similar things, and the thing that's really different is what is in between the type. This one type is text, this one is password, this one is radio. So when we put it that way, oh sorry, yeah, wrong place. X. I don't think it's needed for this, but let's see if it still manages to open it. Yeah, that's fine. So that's it for radio. Only one has been selected. So now let's go to checkbox. Checkbox is another one, but this one is more similar to radio, the radio type, than it is to text and password. So I can just copy. Control C. What do we change here? Type, we put checkbox. So I want one that is male. Copy. Checkbox. Now let's see. Let me see if I need a break tag. Interesting. I want a break tag. Yep. I didn't finish though. Well, I don't like both of them on the same line, so I'll put a break tag. So this is radio. Let me put the default in middle so we can all see it. So this is radio. Input type radio, ID, name, value. Difference between radio and password, just added value, and I've explained why value is there. So in case you're submitting to a database, what will be submitted will be female where it's female, and male where it's male. So now that I've done that, let me refresh and see. Yeah, this is basically coding. You try something, it's not how you want it, you try another thing. Yep. But unlike radio, female, you can click both one. I said female. Checkbox, you can click both of them. You can click one. Checkbox allows you to click as many as possible. Now, there's one thing we need, and by we, I mean all of us. In every form, there's a submit button. And what's the input type? Button. So you see, HTML is not so hard. It basically uses our normal English language to explain for us. And we close that. So this won't display. What I wanted to display right now. Well, basically that's all you need for input type button. Now this one is unlike any other. The value has to be there. It has just two per se. Say submit. So that's input type button, and it happens to be an empty tab also. See, our break tag is very, very important. Are you not happy that you learned how to use break tag? No, that's it. Of course, when we click submit, nothing will happen. But basically, we formed the form. Yep, so that's that. That's a submit. That's a submit button. Now, which other thing? You might need to enter email. Basically, it's the same with not with radio or text or checkbox. This the same label, input text, ID, name. So let's put it before our submit button. Now what am I changing it to? Changing it to email. Type email, username, email. Sorry, instead of username, type in email. The point of this is it will only accept things that are in email format. It will accept text that are in email format. Yeah. So let's test it out and check that everything's fine. Okay, save. Yeah, that's Google wanting me. Though I wasn't trying to pay anyway. But yeah. So if I try to submit that, now that's the normal one, but if I want this thing to kind of check it a bit, this is what we do. Now you know when we're creating the button normally, value basically is what goes here. If I don't put anything here, it's going to be blank, right? Let me save. Yeah, nothing there. Now submit. Let's see what happens when I try to submit. Remember I said this input type is for email, and only things that are in email format should actually go there, and it will also check it for you in a way. But if I come here, let's refresh. I just put the what they call the button and gave it a name, which is correct. But and I come here, just ignore Google. If I try to submit, it didn't tell me that this is not an email. But when I come here, it says it. But usually what we want is when you click this submit button, it should not go through. It should not try to submit it to maybe your database or whatever. It should give all those notifications that you give, like when it says, oh, like when you're trying to form a password on a site and it's like, oh, this password is too short, oh, this password is contains one letter that shouldn't contain. So let's see what happens when we change type to submit. You see that it didn't go through. Now let's see what happens when I put a full email address. It's fine, it went and it became blank. But the other one, it just submitted. So that's what we're trying to achieve. And you wanted to submit directly, or you wanted to check some things, like let's say the email, or maybe you've specified, you've made one number or something like that, and this is without coding in another language, like there's no backup PHP in it or JavaScript that's checking that for you. It's just you and your HTML alone, and you need to confirm, or you need to it to check before it's actually submitted that it's submitting the right thing. You use submit. Let's also try one more thing. Let's put input, let's use number. So we are using the input type number. Similar. That's why I'm just copying and pasting. Label for number. Type number. This type tells the browser what it is expecting to be in those things. Alright. So save. Alright. Okay. You can't see me now, but right now I'm pressing letters. Okay, E is going, but apart from E, looks like every other thing is not going. Wait. Okay. Check that my code was correct. Let me see what happens. Okay, first that one is not typing. Let me see what happens when I try to submit it the way it is. So here, for some reason, I don't know, I just want to run my finger through all the keyboards. I said all the keyboard letters. So for some reason, I don't know, E is showing, right? Let me put in email because it won't let me submit unless I enter something in this one. This one's I can ignore, but with that submit button, it's going to be checking. Now let's see what happens when I try to submit with E. Please enter a number. Let's see what happens when I put a number. It's fine, it went and it cleared it. So when you need the specific information to be entered somewhere, you put it there. And also with numbers, you can specify the maximum and the minimum. Like, though it's going to, you're going to add more attributes. Remember that I said these things are attributes. Yeah. So let's say we've put the name. Let's say we want it to be minimum of 10. So let me put 10. Sorry, wrong button. Maximum of 20. Minimum of 10, maximum of 20. That's min and max is equals to 20. Save. Alright. So save. Let's come here and test. Now here I specified that the minimum should be 10 and the maximum should be 20. Let's try to go below and over it. So just put 9. Submit. Value must be greater than or equals to 10. Let me put 28. Value must be less than or equals to 20. That's the importance of that. Minimum and maximum. That's when you want to put a limit to it. So now let's go to tables. Tables, that's the final thing we are learning in this video. So you can take a break for 2 seconds before we go into tables. I'm scrolling so you can use this method to breathe and absorb all the information that you just finished absorbing. I've been trying to get. So please, I know it's a lot of information, but once you get it, you get it. Okay, now let's go to tables. Don't worry, this is easy. I promise you it is actually easy. There's not too much things to do, right? So First thing in the table, you see how with the input type everything has to be in the form. For table, everything has to be in the table, and it has both opening and closing tags. Yes, that's what it has. Now, how do we form table? It has about 3 tags in total, 3 in total, that it makes use of, and they are tr, table row, td, table data, and finally we have th, table header. Right, so now you know the way in our lists we had ul like normally. All right, so table row, table data, table header. Now, depending on where you want it to be or what you are using it for, remember I said this is row, this is data, this is header. Now in the table row, everything goes row by row. We'll see how we use the remaining. Anyway, it's easier to explain once you see the table, so you can be like, as I was saying, it's easier to understand their roles and where they function once you see the table live. So let's go straight into that. But note that everything, just like we had the unordered list and the li were within that list, note that everything is going to be within table row, that's tr, right? So let's get started. We want things with table header. Open, close, copy. I want 3 of them, so now in my table header, 1 will be for their first name, one will be for their age. Sorry, this one should be age. This one should be for, this is going to be their last name. These are the things I want to be in my table header. Header is usually on top, but I believe you understand better when you see the actual table. So we have another one. Remember, everything inside the table, after you've created the, like the way form is, everything inside the table will be in between table row tags. So I have another table row tag here. This time I don't need header, I want to put data. So we have table data, that's the information that is going to be in the table. Table data, table data, yeah, close. They all come with opening and closing tag. Another one, table row, table data, yeah, let me close this. Table data, table data, table data, table data. Alright, so the first one, let me put, oh sorry, since header is 3, what is in the table row has to be 3. Right, so just 2 is fine. So table data, let's put Michael Jackson. How old was he when he died? I think it was 40 something. I think 40 something or 50. I think 50. Will Smith. Will Smith is 50 or 51. I don't know. I don't usually keep their days in my head because I'm not their family member. Let's put 40. Let's make him younger than his age. So save. Will Smith's fans and Michael Jackson fans. No vex, so don't take it personal. Yep. So basically, that's it. This was everything in the header. First name, last name, age. First name, last name, age. And they are in the first table row. Head is called header because they are on top. Now table data, the actual information in the table. Yeah, actual information in the table here, and it's in the second row. Right? Now this is in third row. That's the third table row there we have. So that's how we create tables. Now this is basic and all, and that's good, but we are trying to do something that when they view our site or our web page, they're like, wow, this is nice. So let's add some borders. Let's make it look a bit more presentable than this. So let's add some style to it. That's what it's called, style. Let's go all the way up in between our head tags. And between our head tags, need you to create style tags. STYLE. Now please learn this, at least the style part, because you're going to need to know this information in CSS. Alright. Tab. Now table. I'm doing this to put a border to the table. You know, currently it's just like this. It's just nothing. That's not a typical table looks like. So we are trying to achieve something like how Excel looks like. So table header, table, and now we are using curly brackets. Don't forget to put the second curly bracket, put it in between. Then the next line, or you can put everything in the same line if you so desire. Border. That's how we specify the border. Then how thick do we want this border? 1 pixel is fine. What color do we want the border? Black. I remember how when we did style for the for the image, we put semicolon. Yes, semicolon. Save. Voila. So that's it. At least now everybody can see, oh, okay, that's a table. Okay, that makes sense. Now if we just want one, like one, you know how this one is looking as if it's 2 lines, or it's a table within a particular border. If we just want just one, we come here, enter key, border, collapse. Colon, collapse. Save. Now this is what it does. So you look at it when we just put the border alone, and when we collapsed one of them, look at, it just became one, and I think this is preferable. So we have come to the end of today's class. Assignments. I'm going to practice what we've learned, but yes, this assignment is coming in two different formats. You have one. Everybody is going to do this. Like for the first assignment, just think of it like exam, where question 1 is compulsory. Then you have 2 and 3. Then you can pick 2 or 3. So question 1. Let me write it so nobody will tell me I do not see anything. Question 1. Q. Question 1. You need to have one unordered. Create a web page with create a web page that has one, either an unordered list and put enter, or an ordered list. So you pick one. But this one, everybody has to submit. Your web page must have at least this one. Question 2. You can either create a form, and I don't just want any form. Now I don't just want any form. You know the way how you have sign up? Yes, sign up. Like when you go to a page and they're like, if you can't log in, or if you don't have an account with us, sign up. Yes, I want a sign up page or login page, anyone you decide to have. But here's what must be there. Email. I want that email. I want this. I want this. I want to see this in your code. That's if you are choosing question 2. Email and password and button. And your submit button must work. Let me put it. Create a sign up / login page with that has, okay, let me put English, that has, so nobody will tell me they don't understand, that has email and password and submit button. So I'm expecting to see these two in your, what they call, in your web page that you send to the group, and I will test it, or you will show me that you have tested it. Like when you click the submit button and it was either empty or you didn't write an email, what did it show? And you put things in your password, did it change? Did it look like this? Then submit button. And when you try to click submit button and there is no email, does it ask for it, especially when the email is wrong? Question 3. Question 3. We just learned tables, so I want you to create a table with borders for me. That means it must either have this one right here, or coming now you, oh boy, okay, let's have either this one or the first one we did. So when you create your table, it should not be empty. When I remove this collapse, correct, and save. So the table must either be like this or like this. So as your assignment, question 1 is compulsory. Now you can pick between question 2 and question 3. All the best and see you next class. Day 5 is going to be our final class for HTML, and there's going to be a wonderful assignment, so get ready. If you need to sleep early on day 4, sleep, submit your assignment on time, because day 5 is going to be wonderful. So all the best, good luck, and remember, if you have questions, send it to the group. If your code is not working the way you want it to work, and you have tried and you don't know what else to do, just send it to the group. I'll be willing to help you. That's all. See you next class. Bye.